Good morning all. Due to space restraints, I'm having to throw away some of my old electronics stuff, and this one is today's candidate. It's this Atari game system. It's got a chip in it, I would imagine, with all the classic video games. It says TV video game system. What have we got there? A fire button and a joystick, which isn't really a joystick. And then there's a few more buttons here and an on-off switch. It runs on batteries, 4 times AA, so that's 6 volts. Adult assembly required. And what does it say here? Jack's Pacific Inc. 2002, Malibu, California. Now on the other end of the wire there's a couple of RCA phonos. We've got yellow, which is video, composite video. 625 line PAL, I believe this is, and also there's an audio lead. So what I need to do first is just check that there's batteries in here, connect it to a TV, an old style TV. Actually, it's not a completely old style TV, and just see if this thing works and play a couple of the games. So batteries there are. Oh, we got some Jessop's AA alkalines today. And here's the TV I'm going to use. It's Nikkei or Nikkei. I think this came from Maplin. It's not CRT, it is LCD, and so of course it's not going to be a pure 625 line image. In fact, I've got a feeling that the vertical resolution on here is only 240 lines. It's quite low res. Now on the back there's a DC 12 volt input jack, and we also have video and left and right audio. So I'm going to plug in my solar power 12 volts into the DC 12 volts and audio and video in there. So there we are, ready to go. Let's switch this thing on. Where's the switch? There's the switch. Let's see if I get a picture. Yep, and that's on AV no signal. So now I switch this thing on. Where's the switch? There. Now, do I have to press reset or something, or start maybe? Oh, and we have some games. Adventure, Asteroids, Breakout, Centipede, Cirrus, Atari, Gravitar, Missile Command, Pong. Definitely want to play Pong, so can I navigate to that? Now this, as I say, is not really a joystick. It's a very hard sprung, I think, 4-way switch. I think there were just 4 switches on each of the directions. So let's come down to Pong. Start, is it? Yeah, Pong, look at this. Text style. Fantastic. Press fire to start, so that's there. Oh, perhaps I have to now press start. Yo! Oh. So you don't actually have sort of movement control. You only have the ability to move at a constant rate up and down just by hitting the switch, which is a bit rubbish really, isn't it? But that is working. So I mean, this is a bit rubbish, isn't it? This has got to go. But it's got scoring. 3-0 to the computer. What do you mean nil? I'm sure oh no, I haven't won any points yet. I've hit balls back but not won any points. Oh, let's try Asteroids. Okay, so Asteroids, fire, press fire to start. 1981, Atari Inc. I think you have to press start now, but it doesn't actually say that. Oh no, press fire. Oh, Asteroids. Where's my spaceship? Oh, perhaps have to press start, yeah. Fantastic. And I think you can power this thing, but I can't remember how to do it. Ah! So let's start taking this apart. Now of course I'm going to do it with the power on. That's much more fun, isn't it? So 4 screws in the bottom. Not sure whether the batteries will have to come out when I take the bottom of the unit off. We'll see, I guess. Right. Oh, that's quite nice. And yes, as I suspect, what's that horrible tin foil there? As I suspected, the four-way switch, well, the joystick isn't really a joystick at all. It's just a fairly hard sprung four-way lever that presses down on these four buttons. That's the fire button. That presses down on that. Oh, I've started a game. What is it? I don't know. Okay, what's in here? Well, not much is visible apart from one potentiometer, some switches. There's another board down here which is obviously for these switches. Reset just resets the chip. Select, not sure what that does, and start, that starts the game. Oh, that looks like some sort of adventure game. Okay, let's carry on. There's a lot of shielding in here, which I'm going to have to disturb, so I'm going to have to start taking these screws out. Oh, I need a different screwdriver. Now there's some sort of retaining ring here. That doesn't fit. And that comes off with this screw. That just holds these buttons down by the look of it. Do they still do anything? Oh yeah. I'm moving the little man around on the screen. Is that going to come out now? Oh yeah, it is. And that's got various wires attached to it. But I don't like all this metal shielding, that's a bit nasty. What I want to find is the CPU board. This clearly isn't... Oh, it might be the CPU board actually. Yeah, on the back we've got a couple of chips there, sort of epoxy coated directly on the board. 27 megahertz crystal. Some inductors down here around that thing, which I think is just a pivot for the four-way switch. What's that? Is that video? Oh no, that's power coming in. Oh, in fact, there's some markings there. Video, ground, and sound. So yeah, that's the cable that goes to the two RCA phono jacks. Actually, that can come out. Yes, that's more like it. Maybe I'll tip the camera down now. So let's take this shielding thing out. And in there, well, there's just that pivot. And then the black area under there is the battery box. There's a little ferrite bead there with the wire wrapped around it. That's coming from the battery. Why would you need a ferrite on DC 6 volts coming from 4 alkalines? Unless, of course, there's noise being sent back the other way. But that does seem odd to put it there on a DC power supply. Unless there's an option for AC. I don't think there is. No, there's no socket on there. But yeah, there's not a lot to see. Just these two chips and the crystal. Some transistors here. These green wires run down to this board. But all there is on that board are 3 switches, an LED, and the on-off switch down there. So the main activity is taking place on this board. Let's just get in a little bit closer. So these little inductors, these little ferrite suppressors I suppose they are directly on the video output there, the red wire. There's another one directly on the sound output, the audio. Not sure what this third one's doing. That goes to there, which actually doesn't have any connections on it. 2 chips. Now it's possible that there's a game chip here. This one looks like the outputs are coming out to the video and the audio, so this one perhaps is a PAL TV signal generator chip, perhaps. 27 megs. Doesn't really tie up directly with PAL frequencies, but then maybe there's some internal sort of clocking or division happening there. These are just switches by the look of it from the other board. But yeah, there's not a lot to see. A couple of transistors here, resistors and capacitors, some electrolytics And that's really about it. The 2 chips would appear to do all the work. But lots of shielding. We got this silvered piece of paper which was sort of over this board. They've even wrapped a bit of tin foil or tin foil coated paper part way along the video and audio cable. Another big ferrite in the video and audio outputs, plus these ferrites on the board. Someone's just gone a bit overboard on trying to take out sort of high frequency unwanted noise on the signal, and yet the picture on the TV looks pretty reasonable. Here's the picture on the TV. Now of course I'm going to get strobing artifacts depending on the distance between the camera and the TV. The TV is not a proper 625 line, so it's pretty impossible to show how good that picture quality is. Select. Oh no, it looks like I have to use the joystick, which is all disconnected, to go through the game. So let's just press start. Start. Yeah, so that's the adventure game. I wonder what this pot does. Do I dare twiddle it? It's been coated in this sort of red, what's that called? Screw lock stuff, where you use it to lock screws. So it's obviously intended that you don't twiddle it. But I wonder what that would do. Right, so now I'm going to have to try and get this all back together again. Still with the power on, of course. Much more fun working on stuff while it's switched on. So I think this piece of insulating paper stroke tin foil goes in there first. It's actually screwed down onto the PCB at that point to connect all of this metal to ground, although that has got a bit shredded now, so whether that's going to work or not, I don't know. So the board has to go back onto its mounting points. And there, I suppose. Yeah, that looks about right. And then I think the first thing that went on here was this funny cover. Yeah, that sits there, and then there was a screw in there. I think it's that countersunk one. So let's put that back in. That at least holds everything down. And then I've got to try and get that bit of earthing connected back. Although, as I say, I don't see there's a huge problem in terms of shielding and noise and all that sort of stuff. So here's the screw that was screwed down onto all the shielding. Yeah, that might sort of make a connection again. Looks like it probably is. Right, so now I have to balance these bits in here, the joystick and the start button, and turn this upside down. Oops, didn't quite work. Try and get that on there without everything falling apart. Get in. Oh, there we are. And put the bottom screws in, and I think we're done. While the machine plays asteroids. And I can do nothing about the fact that I'm losing. So there it is, all back together again in one piece. Now let's have a game of, let's play volleyball. Fire to start. Oh, it's actually got little people, that's amazing. What do I do? Oh, this one's a bit buzzy. Oh. This is a rubbish game. It's very buzzy on the audio, probably because of all this white, which is causing the sort of video to break through to the audio. I'm not very good at volleyball, am I? No, I think it's got to be Pong. Let's go back to Pong. Start. Ow! Can I get just the 1 point? No! The computer appears to be winning 9-0. Oh, I got one back. And it's sort of beeping with ever more urgency. I'm not sure what the top score is. 21, I suppose. Anyway, there we go. That's the Atari game system with not very good joystick and 2-chip design. Cheerio!